So that vegan teacher, I guess, has more words for the LGBT community because it went so well last time. Let's see what she has to say.
Hello, members of the LGBTQ community. This little sign here is for you. Let's read it together, okay? It says, all members of the LGBTQ should strive to be vegan. If you don't like oppression, then don't oppress others. Be vegan.
Usually when we say others, we mean people. Just put that out there.
I love you.
Love you too. Astrofox says, it's a lie, chat. Flee. Flee while you can. She keeps us prisoner. I have done no such thing. You are in your own homes.
I'll text you when I get to lab, okay?
Okay. Drive safe. I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye. Vegan from now on. You were born vegan. Time to return.
I was not born vegan, because that's not how anything works. You're born a baby. That's what you're born. You're not born with any specific thing like that. You're not born vegan in the sense that would be like saying I was born vegan because I did not actively go out and attempt to hunt a deer is like saying I was born paralyzed because I couldn't walk. You know what I mean? Like, mechanically, I guess you're technically correct. But it's not due to some, like, philosophical or physiological reason that I'm either vegan or not able to walk as a child. It's just because you're, like, a baby and not capable of doing anything. I'm impressed babies know how to breathe. Nick says, I'm not home yet, so debunked. Blackwing Hecate says, but if I'm not here, who will sacrifice their comedic integrity to make that one joke? On that note, chicken fingies time. How about our favorite sovereign citizen, Marcel? Have you heard from him? I've not. I'm hoping he's getting help. His website is down. At least one of them is. His channels have all been deleted. After he made threats to the governor of Winnipeg. So I'm hoping he got picked up and is maybe getting help. I don't know. He hasn't commented on my channel in a while either. Blackwing Hecate says it's like saying a rock is vegan. Ice Queen says, I'll pass, Katie. Get this through your head. Animals are not sentient. They're not capable of advanced thought or any other qualities you try to give them. Signed, a trans lesbian.
Good? Makes sense? Yeah? Alright, so I can
Yes, human milk is vegan because it is given willingly by the mother.
just go ahead and press a little red button here
Even Katie agrees with that.
and just walk away. We're all in agreement? No? What's the matter? Let me guess. You think I'm homophobic, right? Think again.
Remember that time she said it's actually harder to come out as vegan than like gay or trans or lesbian or bi or ace or anything LGBTQ plus related? And she was like, actually, it's selfish to come out as LGBT, whereas it's selfish. Or no, it's selfish to come out as LGBT plus, but it's selfless to come out as vegan, was her message. Which is interesting, because I was under the impression, I thought at one point she had said she was maybe bisexual, which she might be, she might not be. I don't care. None of my fucking business unless she wants to talk about it. Don't care. The point is, Katie, people think you're homophobic because you've said really dumb shit about LGBT people in the past. For the same reason people assume you're racist, because you used the N-word in a video. Mike says, pretty sure we're born omnivores, at least many of us, due to the fact that we get our nutrition from what our mothers eat. I could be wrong. Blackwing Hecate says, I've thought about it again. You are homophobic. Daddy Sume says, no, Karen, we think you're just an idiot. Wide variety of opinions there.
Let's just for fun right now replace the LGBTQ word with another word. Let's say women. Okay? Let's read the same sentences over again and replace this with the word women.
No, Katie, this particular statement isn't in and of itself homophobic or queerphobic or whatever. It's just like pandery and weird. But it's fine. The issue was things you've said in the past.
We know that women are sometimes also oppressed in society. So let's read that. Okay. All members of the women in society should strive to be vegan. If you don't like oppression, then don't oppress others. Be vegan from now on. You were born vegan. Time to return. Better? Now do you feel better? No? Still doesn't feel right? Now the women are upset and the LGBTQ are upset with me? Okay, let's see. How about this one? Look at this cute little doll.
Oh God, is she gonna... This is the same doll she called the N-word. Stop. Dr. White says, so all members of the women... I'm a member of the women.
Adorable? Right? And she has darker skin.
I am so worried. Guys, this is the doll she called the N-word. Just letting you know.
And traditionally, sometimes darker skinned people have been mistreated in society. Not always, but let's replace this here with the word I don't like.
Is she about to... Hold on. Let me mute this for you guys so I can listen and make sure she's not about to call this doll the N-word again. Nick says, oh, and her name for that doll in at least one video could be the N-word backwards. Oh, no. Blackwing Hecate says, I have a member of the women. Okay. I gotta mute this while I check and make sure she doesn't call this thing the N-word. Okay. Okay, she doesn't use the N-word, it's fine. Robert Morley, it's been a while. Hi. Robert Morley 260 says, I'm still out there, Hannah. Your bit sugar daddy in the house, yo. Well, thank you very much. I've missed you and your bits. No, seriously, I'm glad to see you, though. It's been a while.
Mistreated in society, not always, but let's replace this here with the word, I don't like to use the word black because she doesn't look black to me, but let's say dark-skinned people, okay? All right, let's go. All members of the dark-skinned community should strive to be vegan. If you don't like oppression, don't oppress others. Be vegan from now on. You were born vegan. Time to return.
I'll be back.
Now do you feel better? All members of the LGBTQ community feels more fair now, right? And for women, right? And for the dark-skinned people, feels good? Would you like me to include anyone else in here? Who else is discriminated against in our society? Oh, I know. People in wheelchairs. You know, they don't often have ramps for them to get into every single building. So let's replace it here now with something else, okay? People in wheelchairs.
Does Canada not have a similar version of the ADA where you need, like, something to make it accessible to people, like, in wheelchairs? Dr. White says, don't leave us alone with her, Hannah. Sorry, I'm back.
Chairs, okay? All members of a group of people who are in wheelchairs should strive to be vegan. If you don't like oppression, then don't oppress others. Be vegan from now on. You were born vegan. Time to return.
I was not born vegan. What?
Sound good? So do you understand where I'm coming from now? Would you like me to use white people in here? Maybe you don't think white people are ever oppressed. I think sometimes they can be, depending on where they live. But I'm not going to...
We don't need to go into specifics of white minority areas. What are you doing?
use that example because I know that one will
Nick says, oppress me, mommy.
just be super triggering for you guys. But my main point here to everyone is that everyone can strive to be vegan. And yes, you were born vegan. When you came out of your mom, you never wanted to hurt animals. Remember that being vegan is about...
She did not know me as a kid. as like a little kid, I had consistent, and I don't know why this is. Maybe I'm just a weirdo. I don't know if this is. You ever have one of those situations where you're about to share something and you don't know if it's going to be a situation where everyone's like, "You're a fucking weirdo," or like, "No, I did that too. Kids are weird." So here we go. Nick says, "Not people with nutritional deficiencies." When I was like a little kid, I had this obsession with wanting to eat a raw steak. I had an obsession with wanting to eat a raw steak. I never did, but like, I think it had something to do with like cartoons. You know when you're like a little kid and you see, like in a cartoon, like one of those cartoon steaks that's not cooked or whatever? I guess as a kid, I just really liked the idea of biting into a raw steak. I never did, I never have, and I wouldn't. Because obviously that's not food safe unless it's like steak tartare, which sounds gross to me as an adult. But as a kid, I was a weirdo, and I absolutely wanted meat. I knew where meat came from. It's not that I relished the idea of killing an animal. I didn't ever think about the killing the animal part. But, you know, as a kid, I was like, I like meat. I want to taste this raw meat. Again, I never did, and of course I recognize that that's weird and the point is, kids are not these little, like, bastions of morality that she seems to be pretending they are. Kids are also weird human animals that like to eat meat and kill things. Daddy Sume says, "Don't do it, Hannah, you'll regret it." Tucker White says, "Katie, return to vegan. Me an intellectual." Feel a load.
Go back! I want to be monkey!
I want to be a monkey. That'd be easier. No monkey has to stream for a living. Just eat bananas. Throw your poop. Am I doing Peter anymore? I'm just taking a break from the Peter stuff. We were doing it so often. We'll get back to Peter at some point. He just hasn't said anything interesting in a while. Purple Nickel says, "Oh great, this is what I walk into. Thanks, Hannah. You're welcome." Hydrate. Nick says, "Speaking of raw steak, you remember that idiot that ate aged raw meat? Turns out that's supposed to get you high. Yeah, it's called high meat." Yeah. Tucker White says, "You say was a weirdo, like anything's changed." I don't want to eat raw meat now. Although I do like rare steak. I still like rare steak, medium rare, if that's the best they can do. But I wouldn't want uncooked steak. Marcus Drake says, "When I was a kid, I thought pork, beef, and chicken all came from different parts of the cow, so the Chick-fil-A Eat More Chicken slogan prompted by cows horrified me." Daddy Sume says, "You're still a weirdo, but we love you."
Doing the least harm possible. You didn't think, oh, as soon as you saw a pig, I want to run over there and take a bite out of that pig.
Sent you email of my new wheels. Email? Do you know my email? You might.
No, you thought to yourself when you were a little child, like, hey, I want to go see the pig and pet the pig and hug the pig and play with the pig. It occurred to you that you should maybe eat an apple, but not that you should hurt the pig. You were born vegan, all of you. Your mother's milk was vegan because it was intended for you. It's not something that's stolen without consent. Okay? So do you understand now why I say that everyone should be vegan? And you know, next week you might see me holding up a sign that says all members of the dark-skinned community should be vegan. Now that
I wouldn't recommend you do that. Just so you know. Profane Priestess says, "No, Karen, as a polyamorous, bisexual, disabled trans woman, please get educated yourself. I am semi-vegetarian for ethical reasons, and you can buzz off. Animals deserve to be treated with compassion and care, but they are not the same." God, she makes me mad. Yeah, I found out the other... Sorry. That was a disgusting noise my respiratory system decided to make randomly. Found out the other day, Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is mostly vegan. Apparently, if he's like at an event without vegan options, he'll eat some stuff, but he's vegan most of the time, which is interesting.
That doesn't mean that I'm prejudiced. It simply means that I am targeting that particular group that day. Now today, I'm talking about all kinds of people. Now, if you have any others that you'd like to replace this word with, let me know in the comments below. Can you think of any other groups of people? Probably First Nations people also. They're oppressed. People stole their land. That wasn't right.
The difference is we are talking about people, human beings, and you are talking about non-human animals, which people, in general, 99% of people on this planet, put non-human animals on a moral footing lower than human beings. I'm not saying you have to like it or agree with it, but I'm explaining to you, Katie, why this argument is so bad and why no one takes you seriously, because you won't even take 5 seconds to consider that other people do not consider non-human animals ethically to be the same as humans. Wabajack says, I was not born vegan. I was fired from my mother's uterus at the nearest game animal like a baby bullet. Blackwing Hecate says, I feel like that meme with a random fish guy ordering from Squidward.
Can you think of others? If you do, like I said, write it below, and I can make a sign for each of these groups. Essentially what we want is a world that's more loving, more encompassing, more just kind. Don't you want that? So everyone lives near a grocery store. You have no excuse. You can simply...
One sec. I gotta go back. I can't believe she honestly just said that shit.
Essentially what we want is a world that's more loving, more encompassing, more just kind. Don't you want that? So everyone lives near a grocery store. You have...
No, they don't! Other people are already saying it in the chat. Food deserts are a thing. Not everyone lives... I would argue, like, in the United States, most people don't live near a grocery store in the way you're talking about. The vast majority of people in this country can't, like, walk down to the grocery store and get fresh produce at reasonable prices. What are you talking about? This is what people... This is some bullshit. It really, really is. Like, if you want to advocate for veganism, that is fucking awesome. I respect the hell out of that. Not her, obviously, but that's because the way she does it is really shitty. But if you want to do that, awesome. But come on. You have to take into account the reality that people live in, and the reality is that there are tons of people that cannot afford to be continually buying fresh produce regularly and spending the time to cook it so it doesn't go bad. Like, what? If you want to advocate for people becoming vegan, that's awesome. Again, that's great, but you need to realistically consider the limitations in place by the situations people are in their lives. If you're just going to ignore the issues that people have trying out veganism or becoming vegan or even just vegetarian, then what are you even advocating for? Because you're not actually trying to change any systems for the better for an end result that gets more people to be vegan. You just want to bitch about people not being vegan and not address any of the issues why that might not be the case. Like, and in many ways it feels like an insurmountable task because, like, not only do you have the hurdle of actually convincing someone it is the moral right position to be vegan 100% of the time, but then you have to get past the practical reasons, the expense, making sure everyone gets the nutrition they need. Like, this is not nothing. And acting like it's nothing is only going to lead to people trying veganism and failing, rather than you outright saying, hey, there are parts of this that are going to be difficult in figuring out your new diet. Here are issues that you might face. Here are resources on how to deal with it. You're far more likely to find someone and actually convince them to long-term change their lifestyle by being open and honest with them up front about the potential issues and challenges than to have them be blindsided and not expecting any issues. Mike Mack says, lady, vegans aren't oppressed. There are multiple countries where being gay means death. Yep.
No excuse. You can simply go in there and buy veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds. Put those in your shopping cart because peace begins on your plate. So open up your heart to the animals. Treat them as you would want to be treated. You wouldn't want somebody to slit your throat or to steal your babies, and that's what they do in the dairy industry. They kill the baby boy cows.
If I have a baby and you want to steal it, please steal the baby. I do not want that baby.
It's awful. If you wouldn't want to be strapped down and have somebody forcefully shove something into
Alright, so hypothetically, what if I did want
you and make you pregnant, then don't and have somebody force. It's awful. If you wouldn't want to be strapped down and have somebody forcefully shove something into you and make you pregnant, then
That's like gotta be a kink for at least 40% of my chat, right? I know you guys well enough. Breeding kink? Forced breeding kink?
don't do it to others. Anybody who's ever been sexually assaulted for sure should understand that veganism is a
Hey, let's not compare the suffering of human beings to that of non-human animals. That'd be cool. CBC Mad says, being seriously allergic to gluten kinda already rules out a lot of vegan options. I hate her privileged ways of looking at shit. Daddy Sume says, listen, Hannah, do not ask questions you don't want the answers to. You're a top. That's not even your... I guess you could be on the other side of that kink, but you're a top, so...
logical choice. If you don't like to be oppressed, if you didn't like to be hurt, don't do it to others. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not going on. Okay? I hope you understand. We want a vegan world and we want you to help us to create that vegan world. So please subscribe to this
You're doing a bad job. Daddy Sume says, true.
channel. And do you see beside the subscribe button? Just go look for it right now. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Beside the subscribe button, there should be a bell. So tap the notification bell.
I already get notified when you do videos.
Because that way you won't miss any videos. And you can type anything you want in the comment section. I mean, within reason. Don't be mean. I mean, if you're deliberately insulting without trying to make the world a better place, that's not helpful. But if you have a really good idea that maybe I haven't thought of, go ahead. But first, watch my 1,000 videos to see if I've maybe thought of what you're about to say. Yeah, there's over 1,000 videos here on this channel. So if you like, subscribe, press the notification bell, and help me get these animals out of hell. And coming up on screen right now are going to be a bunch of other videos. Go ahead and click on them. Be curious. Look around that vegan teacher site. I'm so glad that you stayed with me for the length of this speech. I'm sorry about my stool. I don't know if you hear it. It's squeaky. It's kind of bugging me. But anyway, I'll see you guys all soon in the other videos, okay? Love you. Bye for now.
Oh, she's terrible. What is this? Nobody should have kids. Agree or disagree, write your ideas in the comments. This is only 6 minutes long. I guess we can watch this before we move on to the MGTOW stuff. Is this just like straight up anti-natalism stuff?
Hello, students. Welcome to class. Raise your hand if you consider yourself to be an environmentalist.
Dr. Gamble says, I'm not vegan, I'll never be vegan, but I hate people like Vegan Teacher because of the rap they give vegans. Like, my parents had a vegan like this woman rag on by mom saying shit like this would cure her MS, and she's a monster for not caring about the cows. And now, no matter how many times I try to explain to them why people choose to be vegan, they just think it's for getting attention. Yeah. People like Vegan Teacher make people think negative things about vegans, and it's really fucking unfortunate. Because, like, I've never in real life met a vegan like Vegan Teacher. Hydrate.
Somebody who cares about the environment. Now raise your hand if you care about future generations. Raise your hand if you care about animals. What is the best thing for animals? It's if we protect their planet and we, of course, don't eat them, wear them, or use them right now. What we're going to do is look at this short video, and while we're looking at it, I want you to think about the environment. I want you to think about future generations and think about the impact that future generations can have on the animals. I want you also to think about having children. Who here would like to have children? Raise your hand if you want to have children. And why do you want to have children? Or if you've had children already, like myself, do you think that it was a good net positive for the earth to have had children?
Oh God, is she gonna go on a diatribe and say that she regrets having her children? I bet they'd love that. Stone Corbell says, hello Hannah, just got here, what'd I miss? Vegan teacher being dumb.
I want you to watch this video and then think about what you're seeing and write some stuff in the comments below about your thoughts about having children, about the impact that children have on the environment, and how having more children can affect the animals. Okay? Don't worry, it's not very long, it's pretty short. And I am going to read your comments. So try to make them interesting. Like, don't just, put a bunch of meat emojis like you guys usually do. Try to actually give it some thought.
Let me see what the comments are. That vegan teacher, nobody should have kids. Her parents, we agree. We regret having one. Oof. Vegan teacher, don't have kids. Also vegan teacher, has 3 kids.
Okay? All right, let's watch this.
Bless you.
Sorry, he's got a touch of flu.
Yeah, it's going round.
Yeah, just have a little lie down. You going somewhere nice?
Just getting away for a bit. Somewhere no one can find me.
God, that sounds great. We're off on holiday to the south of France.
Oh, nice. It's a long way by coach.
I know. It's just, the environment.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, when they're talking about coach, they mean by bus. Because some people, I know Canadians know, Canadian kids anyway might not know that.
We should all think of that.
I don't want to...
Blackwing Hecate with 30 bits.
Oh, I have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no
kids
and
and
3
free money?
I don't like a twat, but I just... I do think that we've all got a responsibility. I just do.
No, you're right. We do. We all do. Why did you have him then?
Sorry.
Nothing uses carbon like a first world human, yet you created one. Why? Why would you do that? He will produce 515 tons of carbon in his lifetime. That's 40 trucks worth. Having him was the equivalent of nearly 6,500 flights to Paris. You could have flown 90 times a year, there and back nearly every week of your life, and still not had the same impact on the planet as his birth had.
Yeah, but I don't think...
Not to mention the pesticides, detergents, the huge quantity of plastics, the nuclear fuels used to keep him warm. His birth was a selfish act.
I kind of love this. This is actually something that I think is worth talking about in terms of environmentalism. Not, of course, stopping people just from, like, a ethical point of view. I don't think, stopping people from having kids against their will is okay. That's like something I think should be a fundamental human right. It's a bodily autonomy thing. If you want to have kids and you find someone you can have kids with, or if you can get some way to have kids, as long as you're not abusing them, as long as you're not neglecting them, that's your business, right? But I do think as a global civilization, it would behoove us to make people understand and recognize, like, hey, if you don't want to have kids, you don't have to. I know traditionally the human race has made, getting married and having kids is part of the life experience that just everyone should always have no matter what. But like, if you don't want to have kids, don't have them. I think that'd be great advice. I know there's plenty of people probably in my chat who had parents who clearly didn't want kids but had kids because that's what you do. Yeah, that doesn't work out great. My dad did not want kids, but he felt he needed to get married and have kids because that's how things work. And he was a terrible father. So yeah, if you don't want to have kids, don't have kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. Pretty simple. Isaac Animate says, I do this on the bus. If someone decides to sit next to me, I want them to know they made a mistake.
It was brutal. You have condemned others to suffering. In fact, if you really cared, what you'd do is cut his throat open right now.
What the fuck?
What? Interesting, isn't it? Have you ever thought about it this way before? How?
Why don't I want kids? I am selfish. I am a selfish person, and I cannot and would not ever commit myself to taking care of another human being for 18 plus years, and then the emotional investment required in caring about them. Like, that's my honest answer. I am selfish.
How much of an impact one child can have on the earth?
Excuse me.
Or I could do it for you. I could take out the knife, make an incision in his neck, walk away. I'd get my coach over there, and you would have done more than your bit for the future of humanity. I could do it now. But look at me chatting. I think they're about to leave.
Nick says, you fucking what, mate?
I hope he gets over that flu. But maybe he just shouldn't.
Yeah, fuck that kid, in particular.
That's
Was this just like a weird short film someone made?
it. What did you think?
It's kind of creepy.
Isn't that powerful?
I mean, in what sense? It's creepy, but it's not like a thing that makes me go, makes you think, huh? No, I know human beings are bad for the environment.
Does it make you think twice about having children? Does it make you think twice about having had children? You know, this especially goes out to vegans who think that when they're going to have children, they're going to create future vegans. It's not necessarily so. Society has a huge, powerful effect on the way that children are brought up. It's not.
Or your kids are human beings with different opinions, and they might not share the same beliefs about food or animals that you do, and that's fine, because you don't own your children.
Not just you.
Narnania Owl says, somehow I doubt it's meant to be a moral lesson or something, not the way she wants it to be. No, I think it's just supposed to be creepy. At least that's what I got. It's just supposed to be weird.
Unfortunately. So, it's something to think about. Let's talk about it in the
Yeah, I wonder what her deal with her kids is, because she has 3 kids. I doubt they're all vegan.
comments.
She only became vegan 5 years ago, so it's not like she raised them vegan even. Baha says, I like cat children. They are full-grown adults that I adopted. Didn't have to carry, they care for themselves, and want cuddles from their mommy and mama forever. Yeah. That's where I'm at. The amount, any and all parts of me that want to nurture something or cuddle something tiny are sated by pets. I do not want the buy-in, the full-time investment that is a human child. I would never want that. If you do, that's awesome. I hope you do a great job taking care of your kids. Wouldn't want it. Don't like kids. Purple Nickel says, Is vegan teacher advocating for parents to murder their children? Because it sounds like she is. I don't know. I really don't.
And maybe I'll do another follow-up video.
Like, I value... I like spending my money that I can spend on the things I like. Like, I'm continually adding to my collection of, like, movies and stuff. I have a movie collection. I have almost 600 titles in my collection now. What am I at? Hold on, let me look. I have an app that I keep track of them on. I have 589 things in my collection. I like that. I like staying up until 3 in the morning. I don't like on a Saturday or a Friday or whatever. I might like to take an edible, like a marijuana edible. Can't do that if there are kids around. Not my deal. Muddy says, I'm sure I joined at the best time. Also, is it just me or has the quality of her homemade shirts gone down? See, I was actually going to say I like this shirt more. I like the swirls on it.
About this in the future. Let me know what you think. Okay? Thanks for being here. Coming up on screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. Have a look at those too. Be curious. We're going to be learning about how all kinds of things, current events, and videos like this affect animals. All right? Thank you so much for being here. If you like this video, please like.
She is so terrible. Thanks for sending that, though. It was interesting.